Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erinn, for those of you that are new here, and I'm excited today to talk about herbs for digestion. So, without getting too deep into my personal story, I just want to share the experience I have to actually talk about this. So I'll put the link in the description of my full story, but I just want to share that in 2015, I believe, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune disease where you have inflammation and ulcers in your colon, which is really painful. But basically why I'm telling you this is because I want you to know that I have suffered my own personal saga and journey with digestion and healing my digestion and having good digestion and playing with all of the herbs. So all of these things that I'm sharing with you today are things that I have personally used and that have personally worked for me. So the 4 herbs we're going to talk about today are slippery elm, chamomile, ginger, and peppermint. So I'm going to talk about each herb and the benefits, and then I'm going to give you a recipe to actually use this herb to support your digestion. So the first one I want to talk about is slippery elm. Now this used to be my nightly routine when I was healing colitis. I would mix some boiling water with some slippery elm powder, a little bit of stevia for sweetness, and some cinnamon, maybe a little dairy-free milk. And it was so soothing on my belly. It also helped to kind of fill me up so that I didn't feel super hungry and I didn't crave a bunch of food at night. So this is the deal with slippery elm. So as it says in the name, slippery elm has sort of like a slippery, gelatiny type texture when you make it into tea, which makes it really soothing and nice and gentle for any inflammation going on in the stomach. It's also really amazing for coughs and colds and is super soothing on the throat, but that's for another video. We're talking about digestion today. So it soothes the lining of the digestive tract. It also helps with constipation and diarrhea, which is pretty cool. So if you're on either side of the coin, it will help. And it helps to prevent ulcers and helps with acid reflux. To make the slippery elm tea, you want to pour 8 to 10 ounces of water into a pot, bring to almost a boil, add in 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of slippery elm bark powder. Just stir until everything mixes well and forms a very velvety, sort of soft gelatinous tea. Then you can add honey or stevia to taste, a splash of dairy-free milk if you like, that's optional, and also a dash of cinnamon, which I sometimes do, that's optional as well. Okay, so our next herb for digestion is chamomile. So chamomile is one of my longtime favorite herbs. If you've seen any of my videos, you know this because I talk about it all the time. And one of the things that I actually recently learned about chamomile, which I found out is pretty cool, is that it helps the body to digest fat. So for me, I know that if I have like a lot of fat or a lot of fried food, I can kind of feel this like gurgly feeling in my belly. Chamomile is great for that. It helps your body to digest the fat. It's anti-inflammatory, so if you have any pain, there's likely some inflammation going on. It helps with inflammatory bowel disease. It helps with ulcers, diarrhea, gas, nausea, and colic. It's also been found in studies to help with depression, so that's another little added bonus. So in order to use chamomile, the easiest way that I've found to help with the digestion is just literally to make a cup of chamomile tea. You get about 8 to 10 ounces of boiling water, add in 1 tea bag of chamomile tea or 1 tablespoon of loose leaf chamomile. Sometimes I'll let my chamomile steep for a few hours with the lid on top to make sure all the medicinal properties stay in and don't evaporate out. If you don't do that, that's okay. You can just simply steep your tea bag or your loose leaf tea for 5 to 15 minutes. So next, our next herb that helps with digestion is ginger. So ginger is great for digestive discomfort, nausea, vomiting, cramps, motion sickness, or even nausea caused by pregnancy. So to make your ginger, I would just get some dried ginger. You could also do this with fresh ginger. Just get a bag of ginger tea, or if you have loose leaf ginger. So you're gonna need about 8 to 10 ounces of boiling water and 1 bag of ginger tea, or about half a tablespoon of ginger is about how much I like if you're going to use the dried ginger. And so you'll just make yourself a cup of ginger tea. Same with the chamomile, steep for about 8 to 15 minutes. You could even go longer than that if you want to make it really, really potent. It's up to you. And last but not least, we have peppermint. So peppermint's amazing because it actually relaxes the digestive system. It's good for gas, for bloating, for indigestion, and it's also good for muscle spasms. So if you're having any muscle spasms or pain in your low belly, peppermint's where it's at. So peppermint is not as good if you have heartburn or GERD or any digestive issues that are in the upper part of the digestive system, like the esophagus or the chest. If you have low belly stuff, pain in the low belly, that's where the peppermint's gonna help you out. So in order to make the peppermint, you'll just get yourself some peppermint tea, or if you have loose leaf peppermint, that's okay too. So 8 to 10 ounces again of boiling water, 1 tea bag of peppermint tea, or a tablespoon of loose leaf peppermint. Steep for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to a couple hours with the lid on. If you're gonna do a longer steep, you wanna have a lid on it. The other option for peppermint is peppermint essential oil, which when I was going through the hardest phases with colitis, peppermint essential oil was my savior. I would do a little bit of oil, a drop or two in my hand of the peppermint essential oil, add a little bit of carrier oil, and then I would put it on my low belly where I had the actual pain. It helped to relieve the pain like nothing else really did. So that's something I recommend. You can also try putting it in your mouth. I've put it 1 drop on my finger and then put on my tongue or on the sides of my gums. That'll get right into your digestive system and help soothe the belly as well. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your due diligence. If you have any health issues, if you're on medications, if you're pregnant, etc., do a little bit of research first just to make sure that none of these things conflict with what's going on in your body. I just want to say that. These are just some herbs and some techniques that have really helped me with my digestion over the last 5 or so years as I've been on this really deep journey with my health. So again, check in the description for any links to anything that I mentioned. I hope this video supported you and helped you to remind you that you are a natural herbalist. You come from Club Earth, where all of our ancestors have been using these plants for generations to support our health and our family's health. So hopefully this inspires you to not only empower yourself in your own health, but to start working with the plants a little bit more and get comfortable with them. So if you want to go deeper into herbalism, into beginner herbalism, check the link in my comments. I'll put any current classes or workshops that I'm teaching, and I'll also put links to my herbalism and recipes playlist for you to play around. Also, if you're on Instagram, come say hi. I'm at Erinn with 2 N's. I post there most days and kind of show a little bit more of the medicine making side of what I do and share other just thoughts and wisdom about this stuff too. So I hope to see you there. Say hi, leave me a comment, or give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you next week. Woohoo!